Hey ladies, it's Rebecca and Erin at In Between Friends. We're so excited that you are back with us and we are happy to be posting new material. Today we are talking about when to go back to work, or even if you do go back to work, or the question of what happens now to my career, or what happens now to my aspirations, or it's a huge question, especially when we're in a career-driven society. Absolutely. So, ignore the baby sounds on the floor. That is my nephew who is playing ever so happily and being entertained by us. Just saying. So, tell us a little bit about who you were before you had babies. It's like who you were. So, what you did before you had babies and now where you are.
Yeah. I worked in education prior to having kids. I was a teacher for a couple of years, taught high school, and then just kind of stayed in the educational field, specifically in curriculum. It's very boring, people. You don't need to go off on it, because I will, because I loved it.
Okay, can I just say kudos, because you worked like No Child Left Behind, after school, like filling in the gap with a really hard population.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Very hard. But it just goes hand in hand with my desire to be an educator. I truly believe that I was designed to do it from my toes to my nose. I was filled up with skills by the Lord to do that successfully, and I loved doing it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't get paid. I was not getting paid well, so I would not do it if I didn't love it. And let's be honest too, I was an older married woman. I was 32 when I got married, and I was 35 when I had kids. So this was a large portion of my adult life, was being an independent woman who worked to take care of herself. And I worked up to about a year prior to having the boys.
Okay.
So, now my boys are here. They are 7 months old.
Now what?
Now what? My husband works a lot. And, I mean, literally is just not in the home during the week. We just don't really see him. He leaves early and comes home late. Because he works so much, he makes a good wage, in that he can support us on his salary alone. Okay. And I honestly believe, to some of you out there, that's not even an option. Yeah. You need to work. You cannot have one income to stave you off. So this isn't applicable to you. This isn't a conversation you have. Ignore us. Yeah.
Let's get to another video.
Really, though. If you can have this conversation about whether I should and why I would, then this is for you. And this is where my husband and I are.
So number one, check out your spending. If you can let go of the $200 a month gym membership and go down to a $24 a month gym membership, then you do it. Whatever you can let go that is a want, not a need. And that's a really hard conversation to have with a man, because his wants are very different, or his needs are very different than what you think his needs should be.
Yes.
So there's also give and take. The other thing is your salary gonna make up for the cost of childcare? I always thought that if I went back to teaching and then I was paying somebody, $1,000, $2,000 a month to watch my child, well, then I was bringing home like $30.
Pretty much.
So I'm able to go out to dinner once.
Yeah.
For that.
And somebody else is watching.
I can save $30 by giving up premium cable.
Yeah.
And then stay home with my child. So really look at that child care situation. I know a lot of us have grandparents, children's grandparents who will watch. I watch my nephew one day a week, so my sister-in-law can go. She's a hairdresser. She can do an afternoon shift at the salon. Can you work from home? That's a whole other huge market. When my kids were a year and 3, I was offered an opportunity. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was doing some tutoring on the side to do billing for a company. It's a random company. You would not even know them ever, but I get paid to work at home. Random and amazing. It was just an amazing gift for that. And then the other thing is, what are you going to do when your kids go to school? What are you going to do when your kids go to college? Are you going to need to work to put your kids through college? And I know that's asking you to think 18 years in advance. But there is a certain point where you're thinking like, okay, I do need to be future oriented. And there's a part where you leave the workforce and then try to re-enter it 10, 15 years later. It is hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It is hard. And that's always where you keep your foot in the door, whether it's a consulting, whether it's you keep a client, you start freelancing, you start doing things on the side.
On the flip side of that, I do think, in regards to my situation, you then need to look at the cost of you being outside of your house, right? And your cost is not always monetary.
No.
right?
Okay, let's talk about that.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
As we are not a family that we need both incomes
Yeah.
to keep us afloat, it is then therefore my choice to leave the home. So what am I leaving behind when I leave? And I'm leaving behind a lot of things. I still maintain, if I work 40 hours a week, I do not want to come home and clean my home. I don't want to come home and necessarily every single night clean or make dinner. I'm being very honest, and that may reveal a certain aspect of me, and I might not be one of those women who does it all, but that's just me.
Yeah.
It takes away some of the intimacy with your husband.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially in my situation where my husband is not home. I want somebody to be present in that home at all times. That somebody is always manning that helm.
Yeah.
That when those boys enter in that door, that they know that somebody is in control.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, there's nobody who will love your kids like you love your kids.
Absolutely.
Nobody. And you will never get this opportunity back to be a mom. You know, again, there's nobody that parents your children like their own parents.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And let's go out there and say that they do need to be parented.
You got pregnant to parent, right?
Yeah.
I know, it's an ironic question.
It seems like a stupid statement, but I think it's a valid statement to be stated. You know, I don't think there's a whole lot of parenting going on these days. I think there's a whole lot of kids living with their parents, but I don't know about a whole lot of parenting sometimes.
Liam agrees.
Liam? See?
He's like, heck yeah.
Yeah. And that does answer, or it helps me formulate my answer in regards to my own question, because I don't know if my question is still very much answered. Because as a woman, I think as the woman who I am, I'm always going to want something that fills me, that charges me outside of my family. But at the end of the day, I need to make my family a priority.
Absolutely.
And so those things that drive me and those things that fill me up may need to be altered in a different way.
And sometimes, motherhood is self-sacrifice. Bottom line.
Yay!
Yay! Aren't you like your mom?
So I don't know if that helps you determine, whether you should re-enter the workforce. We enjoy you spending your time with us, and we hope to see you again. Bye!
Bye.